You're listening to the Productive Therapist Podcast, the world's greatest and most brilliant resource for busy therapists who'd rather be laying on a beach in Hawaii. Each episode is packed with simple tips and inspiring insights from the Productive Therapist team to help you grow your practice and have fun doing it. So without further ado, let's help you get more done and have more fun.
Hello and welcome back to the Productive Therapist Podcast. I'm so glad you're here and you've made a fantastic decision to spend this time listening to this podcast. So if we haven't met, my name is Uriah and I'm a retired marriage and family therapist. Retired meaning I no longer see clients for about 5 years now. And I'm a group practice owner and I'm also the head nerd here at Productive Therapist. So I wanted to take a little bit of time to officially share with you the announcement of SimpleIntake, and then tell you a little bit about why we built this software platform to manage your intake process. I'm super excited about this. This is something that my team and I have been working on for quite some time, so it's exciting to put it out there and to start sharing it with more and more practices and helping more and more folks. So, like I said, I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I had a solo practice for many years. Started way back in 2008, and then in 2015, I started a group practice. And by 2017, I had been growing my group practice for about 2 years, and I was honestly quite burnt out. I was overwhelmed with doing absolutely everything from marketing to networking to accounting to supervising to managing. And then still seeing, 20 to 25 clients a week. It was too much. I was handling the intake process too, of course, right? And so in order to solve my own problem, I accidentally started a side hustle of a virtual assistant business. I ended up basically just hiring a local friend to come into my office part-time to handle, all the emails, all the incoming phone calls, handle the intake process, right? And fairly quickly, two things happened really. Number one, he did a better job than me and actually was fantastic at helping clients, signing up new clients. So I was genuinely surprised by that because I kind of thought nobody could do it as good as I could. So he did a fantastic job. And then I also realized that my friends and my colleagues, other therapists, needed the same thing. Maybe they weren't, their practice wasn't large enough to need to hire like a 20-hour-a-week person or a 40-hour-a-week person, but they needed maybe 5 to 10 hours a week, something like that. So that's how Productive Therapist started, like I said, to solve my own problem and then to solve the same problem for my friends and colleagues, which honestly is a great way to start a business, to solve your own problem because you know it so intimately and you can solve it in creative, special ways that are uniquely good. So that's how it started. And then it just grew over the years and expanded into this business that I genuinely love running because we're helping therapists help more people. And we're helping therapists live better lives, to genuinely build a business that they love as well as a life that they love. Because we're very good actually at helping people. We're very good at maybe scaling a practice so that we can help more people, but not so good at delegating and prioritizing our quality of life. So that's what Productive Therapist is about. But ever since basically day one, people have been calling us, emailing us, and asking us this one question. And the question is, do you live answer? Will you answer my phones live? And in the beginning, the answer was no, because we provided what's called shared virtual assistants. So, one virtual assistant working with more than one practice. So it just really wasn't feasible. And at one point during, maybe it was 4 to 6 months. It was a short period of time. We said, let's try this. Let's try to do live answer. So we set things up for the team and we started providing live answer and telling people that, yes, we will, for a percentage of the time, as much as we can, we will live answer your phones. Long story short, it was basically a disaster because it ruined the quality of life for our team. They would be on the phone with a potential client and then their phone was ringing with all of the other incoming calls. So we were not set up to be a call center and it just didn't work. So we turned that off and then we told people over and over again, we don't provide live answer, but we do provide a reasonably quick response. We promise 24 hours, but it's usually more like 2 to 3 hours. And in almost all cases, that was significantly faster than that therapist could, respond to new inquiries. So a huge advantage, right? But still not live answer. So on all the podcasts that I've been on and all the blog posts that I've written, I would always say, in my opinion, the highest level of customer service is an immediate response, right? it also tends to be the most costly and the most challenging to provide because, number one, if you hire a full-time person to sit in a room or wherever they sit and answer the phone, answer emails, and try to respond as quickly as possible, that's actually fantastic. Full-time employee, probably with benefits, probably with all the payroll taxes and all of those things, is quite expensive. And still, they take lunch breaks, they take vacations, they get sick, and they can only be on one phone call at a time. So good solution, expensive, and then obviously not perfect. And then the next idea is a virtual receptionist company. There's a ton of these, right? And they're call centers essentially, and they've gotten really good and they can do a lot of things. Remarkably, or notably, 100% live answer your phones. It's always somebody different, but they can use a script and they can hopefully answer in a way that is consistent for your practice, your brand. And they can't get into your EHR. You wouldn't want to let a whole call center give them access to your EHR. So they can do certain things, but it's very limited. Kind of expensive, not as expensive as a full-time employee, but I don't know what it was 5, 6, 7 years ago, but now it's about $2 to $4 a minute for a receptionist, a call center receptionist. So still costly, but good, still a good level of customer service. But then you need the virtual call center, and then you need some sort of intake coordinator as well. So there's a handoff that happens there. So it's not incredibly efficient. Pros and cons, obviously trade-offs for every solution. So those are the two best solutions for live answer that we could come up with. And some of our practices over the years would use both, right? So they would use our virtual assistant as an intake coordinator, and then they would use like Ruby Receptionist or Conversational or one of those others. And that was a pretty good hybrid solution. Honestly, it worked fairly well. A little bit of overlap and a little bit of added cost there, but it's pretty good. At the end of the day, really what we're trying to do is get the help to more people faster, right? People are out there needing counseling, and they're in some sort of level of crisis, whether it's mild to moderate, maybe severe. So they need to find a therapist as soon as they possibly can. And we're trying to close that gap between the first contact and the first session. Every therapist that I know has a huge heart and they want to help as many people as they can. And sometimes it even pains them and they feel a certain level of guilt at not being able to, number one, respond to everyone quickly. Number two, help everyone as much as possible. And we can't. The truth is we can't, and we shouldn't try to. We all have limitations and we need to have boundaries for ourselves and for our practice. But that's where we come from as therapists, right? We want to do the most good for the most people. So all that to say, when I started to really become passionate and lean into learning about AI, I started to demo and test various voice agents. AI voice agents is what they call them, and started to realize that they were getting better and better. And some of these brief conversations, doing demos with various different companies, I started to be impressed and started to think, wow, this is really fairly natural. The conversational flow back and forth is quite good. And the latency, like I mentioned on the last podcast episode, that time between what I'm saying and then the response I'm getting from the AI voice agent started to get lower and lower. And I thought, this is pretty great. But how would this ever integrate with, a HIPAA-compliant CRM or some sort of HIPAA-compliant platform? Didn't see that out there. Didn't see that was available. And, none of those tools obviously integrate with EHRs, and they probably won't for some time, if ever, unfortunately. So I started to kind of be really, really more and more interested in this technology of voice AI. And then when I realized that these voice AI platforms could also do things like book a consultation call or book any kind of call on the calendar of an intake coordinator or a therapist or any business person, obviously, I thought, well, that's amazing. Wouldn't it be absolutely fantastic if an AI voice agent could answer the phone 24/7 and then have a reasonably helpful, competent conversation with someone and kind of guide them towards booking a call with an intake coordinator? That would be incredible. So I decided to try to find a way to create this, build this, provide this for my therapist friends and colleagues. And I won't tell you the whole story behind that, because it's not terribly interesting. But I'm out there trying different things, checking out companies, doing demos, looking into options to build things myself. I'm a tech enthusiast for sure, and an AI. Becoming an AI expert, I would say, but I'm not a software coder, and I've never aspired to build a software company per se, right? That's not my skill set or my interest. But all that to say, I was able to find a solution and customize a solution that can provide an AI receptionist to therapists, as well as some other amazing features on top of that. So that's what SimpleIntake is. It's an AI-powered CRM, and it's HIPAA compliant, and it does a whole bunch of things. But the main thing that we are talking about and sharing with folks is this idea of the AI receptionist, right? So your phone answered 24/7. The AI receptionist knows all the context about your practice, everything from what insurances you take or don't take, what your fees are, what your location is, who you help, who you don't help, like all this wonderful context about your practice. So it can answer all the questions that most clients ask. And then it can gather information from them, obviously. And then powerfully, I think, it can book that, conversationally, it can book that consultation appointment with the intake coordinator or with the therapist directly. So that is sort of the magical flow of, helping that person faster get connected with the therapist that they want to see. So that's what SimpleIntake does. That's one of the features. And then with that, we can also build an AI chatbot for you that lives on your website. You've seen these. And honestly, over the years, they have not been fantastic. Nobody really wants to use a chatbot. But with AI features, they are actually getting more and more useful. So they can actually answer real questions that people are asking. And they can, like I said, with the AI receptionist being able to book that consult call, the AI chatbot can also book a call with the intake coordinator. Okay, that's fantastic. So the AI receptionist costs $97 a month, and then there's some usage costs. So per minute, it's basically 19 cents per minute. So that's, if you think about it, if you compare that to a call center, or if you compare that to a full-time employee, it's incredibly cost effective, actually. So that's what the cost looks like. And with that, folks get the fully built out AI receptionist, the AI chatbot, essentially a contact database. And then they also get the ability to set up one or more booking calendars for the AI receptionist to book those consultation calls. So that's kind of the SimpleIntake AI features. And then if folks want a full CRM, and if you've never heard of that, it's a client or a customer relationship manager software. It's a piece of software that manages the entire process of sales and marketing and customer support. For us, we call that the intake process, right? And so that can do things like build custom forms to put on your website. You can have a unified inbox so that all text and email communication between your team and your clients and potential clients is in one place. You can have a visual pipeline so you can visually track people through the intake process. And that really replaces like a Google Sheet, which can do a lot, but at some point it has its limitations. And then there's other features like workflows that can automatically follow up with folks with text messages or emails or all kinds of other things. So it's a powerful system. SimpleIntake is a powerful AI-powered CRM. But if folks just want the AI receptionist or the AI chatbot, we can provide that to them. So this, for me, as far as my journey on starting Productive Therapist and figuring out how to help therapists help more clients quicker, this kind of feels like a full circle moment for me, where we've got a solution now that we are providing to practices that is incredibly powerful, that really allows for quite a bit of automation and quite a bit of delegation. And the beautiful thing to me is that this is not replacing humans. It's only making what we do better and easier. So the intake coordinator is still valuable. You still want, I think, and hopefully for some time, we still want a compassionate human to be there for those folks, to connect them with the right therapist, to do that matching, to just provide the personal touch, the human touch. And therapy obviously is all about human connection and relationships. So we don't want to lose that. So the AI receptionist is in no way trying to replace your intake coordinator or my team. That's what I keep telling the team. I said, this is not replacing you, I promise. And that is actually true. So that's the beautiful thing. It's like this power and speed and the competence of well-built AI with the compassion and the high touch valuable connection of human beings. So that's the Simple Intake story. And if you want to check it out, you can go to simpleintake.ai and take a look. You can listen to demo calls if you want to listen to those. That's over at productivetherapist.com/info. And you can book a call with us too, or you can just go ahead and sign up and we will build your AI receptionist within probably a few days. We can do this fairly quickly and get it up and running for you. Our goal has always been the same. Our mission has always been the same, to help therapists get more done so they can have more fun, quality of life, and accomplish your mission. So if that sounds awesome to you, take a look. Let us know what you think. Feel free to reach out with any questions. You can reach us at support@productivetherapist.com, and you can actually sign up for this today, right now, on productivetherapist.com. So yeah, that's the story. And thanks so much for listening, and thanks so much for the work that you do, and keep being awesome.
That's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and hit the subscribe button to make sure you never miss an episode. If you're looking for more personalized help, you can reach us through productivetherapist.com. Thanks so much for listening. We are Productive Therapist, and this is the podcast that helps therapists get more done and have more fun.